you guys, it's me, Dr. Tori. My book is officially out. And yes, it is time to talk about ACEs. You guys can find the books everywhere. However, I would encourage you guys to go to my website, VicTORIEus.com, and place your order today. Yes, it's time to talk about ACEs. Let's go, y'all.
Hello, 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 you guys. Welcome to another episode of Be Victorious. Now, this young man, I actually met through one of our favorites, Lisa May LeBlanc. Of course, you guys know she has lattes with Lisa. And when he shared his story with her, I was absolutely amazed because there were some things that he was sharing that I am actually currently experiencing. And so I really wanted to dig in more and learn a lot more. And I realized he has a book. And I have read this book, you guys. When I tell you it's good, it's good. But I don't think he realized that he was actually sharing his ACE story. And so, y'all know me. I had to connect with them. And we have actually been connected ever since. It's been my pleasure to get to know Mr. Benefield. I actually call him future Dr. Benefield because if y'all are not aware, since he's been fooling around with me, y'all know me. I'm gonna get you there. And he is currently right now in school in pursuit of his master's degree. It's a wonderful thing when people are taking the steps to heal, create victories amongst themselves. And we have Mr. Benefield, future doctor, by the way, here with us. And I like the fact that we're taking this journey together because we're learning more about each other as we're growing in regards to being fellow authors. So, Mr. Benefield, future Dr. Benefield, where are you?
Here I am.
And look at that shirt.
Yeah.
I see little Jason. Hey, that's
Yeah.
right. I absolutely admire you. You have a wonderful story and you've shared it already. However, it's my pleasure and honor to have you on this podcast. So, introduce yourself to the world. Did I do a good job? I mean, you know.
I think you did a wonderful job. I was sitting here blushing. I'm like, my goodness, so thank you so much.
Of
Dr.
course.
Torie, it's so wonderful.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
and I believe also like when like you immediately reached out to me
Yes.
while I was still in the interview, and I'm like, who is this person hitting me up on Instagram like this?
Yes.
And yeah, it was you. And I was like so grateful because you immediately invited me to the conference that you had in April. And it was like very extremely short notice. But yeah, I still made it work. You made me one of the cycle breakers in that event as well.
Wait
And
a minute, stop and pause.
yes,
I didn't make you a cycle breaker. I recognize you for being
yeah,
a cycle breaker
that's true.
because I think we don't do it enough. The things that we have been through and the experience that have shaped us, yeah, it needs to be recognized because we still haven't even told your story. But there was a reason why Dr. Tori said, yeah, mm, yeah, I sure did. And did.
Indeed.
So tell us a little bit about your
Right
story.
on. So my name is Jason Ojudu-Benefield. Even though I am not Nigerian, my father gave me those middle names. And I'm grateful because my life has been nothing but just constantly knowing and understanding myself as who God is, because that's who I generally bear down into ever since the trials and tribulations of my life had taken place. I believe I could have gone in so many different directions in so many different ways, and I and I believe it was because of my uncle and my other family members that I like chose to like stay focused on, okay, what can I do to be better, get better, do better? And a lot of times, I think I'm going to my story. So let me stop. Let me go back to who I am. So who I am, I'm a speaker, author, coach, practitioner, and I am a future doctor.
Come on.
I've gotten my bachelor's degree, currently working on my master's with Dr. Tori. And then as we work on my master's, we're also building towards my doctorate. And then also, I may also add in that ministerial part of it. I'm still working on that
Right.
that idea around that. And what else? Like I don't
It's
really,
in you. It's in you. It's we just gonna let go and let God. That's exactly what we're gonna do because we've been connected. Honestly, there's been a lot of positive things seriously that have happened.
yeah,
And when you see it, you just gotta go ahead and embrace it. You know what I mean? You're a Black man. You've been through some things, but yet you came out and here we are.
yeah,
That's what cycle breaking looks like.
yeah, absolutely. And I believe like you know, having the life that I've had, some people would say, well, how could you feel like that you had problems or what would make you still talk as if you still people were still against you? And I
Mhm.
would say, even though I've had the nucleus family and also the extended family in my life, uh, I can still feel insignificant. I can still feel not worthy. I can still feel less than. I can still feel and be like extremely different because even though the people are in the same room with the same people, everyone gets treated differently based on those people's perceptions of that person. And so like and I think like that's another thing that I'm even working on because I've been expanding and growing. But yet, I mean, I have a great family, grandson of a bishop. Um, my aunts and uncles were pastors, cousins pastors, and on my mom's side, and so it was like a great experience ever. So it was never a point or never a fact that I never knew the plan that God had for me. It
Mhm.
was the whole idea of being able to fulfill the plan. It was being able to be in the to know that the will be done.
Mhm.
And I believe like no matter what takes place, no matter what happened, I was always and my favorite quote by Dr. Martin Luther King is, I only want to do God's will. And that's been the foundation of me continuing to push forward, even in difficult and hard times when it even seems like things around me that I felt like were a great foundation became like sinking sand, you
Right.
know? It's but I feel like I'm that person that regardless of what happens, I stay the course and I just want I just want great things to always happen for me. You know,
And they've been
that
happening.
and they have been happening. You're right. They have been. And I have to begin to acknowledge and see that because for so many years, I felt like that they weren't because I was speaking against myself and I just thought that people were continuing to speak against me. But it was really more so me than anything that really had to change his conversation, his thought process about himself. I know I'm going very, excuse me, y'all. I am
I
so,
love this. You got to understand. This is the reason why I want you in this seat. This is why. Let's be clear. Don't sit up and act like that. No, go in, dive deep. This is a safe space. You know that already. Your friends, your colleagues, your fellow cycle breakers have been here. Let's be
yeah,
clear. You are going to sit in the seat, period. Everybody's not working with Dr. Tori. So again, I was waiting on this, honey, because this is what this is what cycle breaking looks like. This is your opportunity to share your story. Again, I said yes to you for a reason. You haven't even started yet. See, you've been experiencing that all your life. I've been experiencing it for 2 years. So
Yeah.
we got stuff to talk about. But let's be clear, we're on a time limit
Okay. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's a podcast.
Yes. Yes.
So before we talk about ACEs and talk about all that stuff, you
Yeah.
had childhood trauma.
Yes.
And people don't understand that childhood trauma is something, but it's adverse childhood experiences in science.
Yeah.
And so let's start there.
Okay.
Tell us about
Yeah.
your childhood
So
trauma.
uh, at 8 years old, well, around 8 years old that I can remember, I had what was called a petit mal seizure during church. Now, what was very interesting is that it's not like a normal seizure where a person is on the ground, he's like trembling and eyes rolling to the back of the head and they're foaming at the mouth, stuff like that. This was where I stood up and my eyes were wide open and I told my uncle during service, shut up several times. And so the thing that was very interesting was that I didn't remember that that had taken place, but because people saw me, that's what they thought was happening. It is so funny because for some reason, Spirit keeps bringing up that scripture that I told you about, right, a
Mhm,
couple of days ago about how
mhm,
the man brought the child to Jesus and he said, well, he's foaming at the mouth and he's trembling on the ground, but he's waking up and he's not realizing that he's doing that. And so they're thinking that it was a demon inside of him. And then Jesus told the father, like, do you believe? And the father says, well, I believe, but help my unbelief. So when you think about someone that's really close to you, like a parent that says that they believe, but they don't believe that something could happen outside of what they perceive to be as normal,
mhm,
and then to then categorize the individual as either being demon possessed, bad. My mother categorized me as being a bad child, a bad person because I'm a boy, and so at the young age of 8, I'm rough housing and all this other stuff. So I'm just doing stuff just to do it, right?
mhm,
And that moment was when the people pleaser was created. That day was when the people pleaser was created. And because I didn't want her to think and ever believe that she could not have a child and a young man that was not kind, gentle, and loving.
mhm,
Right? Yes, I'm a roughhouse. Yes, I'm a wrestler. I mean, that's what we do. We have that energy, as young people. My uncle always used to say, it's always the young. Why is the energy always wasted on the young? Right? When you get older, they kind of like lose it and things like that. But I'm gonna find a way to keep that. So I don't know what he's talking about, but that's just me. And so I just like I look at all of that, and so the people pleaser was born, the person feeling less than not worthy to have love because of the fact that when those things did take place, I was put on punishment, I was whooped, I had tutors because my grades started slipping because I was having them during school. I got kicked out of 2 schools because of them. I had these situations that took place until one day at this one school, which is very interesting. It's called the Zoo School. It was School 59, and it was connected to the Buffalo Zoo. Oh, I'm from Buffalo, New York, y'all, if y'all didn't hear that. So, shout out to Buffalo Bills. This is their year. I always say that. But anyway,
yeah.
yeah, it's their year. It's their year. So I it took a doctor in neuroscience to notice that who was the principal of the school to notice that in the moment of me playing outside on the ground on the playground that I had a seizure in that moment. She said, I stopped and I stared for a good while. I think she said like a minute or so. I think she gave a specific time. And then I started back running again.
Mhm.
But the thing was that I was having them during class too.
Mhm.
But it took that moment for her to realize that I needed to go see a doctor.
Right.
And I just like just think about a very impressionable young person that's coming up in their adolescence, that's seeing how the world treats people because of them being seemingly different. And then the person so aware, all they want to do is that they want to be seen and shown as a person of worth and of good character and of integrity.
Mhm.
And trust and believe, ladies and gentlemen, and those that don't identify, I have been that person that has for almost over 40 years wanting to be that person that people get to see as a great person.
Wow.
So a lot of times, like this was so difficult because even when I brought this up with Lisa, and
Mhm.
and even when I talked about it at the conference, it was difficult for me to talk from that position because I have curated this being, this masquerade, if you will, of an individual that wanted to just show you the good side of life, the great ways that I can be and show up, and the kind of person that I can stand in front of a rich crowd and entice and to inspire and to deliver a wonderful and powerful message. That was the only way that I felt like people can really see me.
Mhm. Mhm.
But being a part of Lattes with Lisa, being part of the Cycle Breaker conference has allowed for people to see me, and it was okay. And I no longer felt judged. I no longer felt less than. I felt like somebody that belonged. And I think, and no, I know that's why
Mhm.
I've clinged to Dr. Tori. And I will say that in that manner. Um,
Don't say it like that.
I'm gonna
Because
say
you're not
it.
and not to say it like that. You're not the only person though. Like this is what I do. I seriously create victory in people. You can see through you, and I'm not trying to be funny. Like the commonality is there. Yes, I wanted to learn more. I wanted to know. You got to think about your story and how powerful it really is. It's powerful enough for you to write a book. And then we have broken it down to the T where your theory, it is good. It's aces. It's my framework.
And it's funny because
That's not me.
I wrote that book for prepaid when I was part of prepaid legal multi-level marketing company. I was writing that outline for those people to let them know how powerful, wonderful, spectacular they are. That's why I initially wrote out the initial outline. Everything else that molded from that and that turned into the book itself, I didn't know. I just thought I was just doing this because this was going to be helpful to people make more money, not to know that it was really going to be helpful for individuals to really see and to expand their life and to see that, oh my God, somebody actually hears me and sees me, and now they're willing to help me.
Now, let me pause because you came to the conference and you did speak.
Yes.
You did present.
Yes.
I wasn't the only one in the room.
No, you weren't.
And I'm sure other people have said what Dr. Tori emphasized, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Because did I use your hand to help you get a degree?
No, ma'am.
Did
All
I
you
write
did
this book for
was
you?
no, you didn't.
It's
No.
called mentorship. This is what I do. Been doing this forever. You're not the only one. Let's be clear. It's been a lot of people that have been with me for a very long time, unfortunately. Trust. It's okay. Some have left, but I'm always going to be on a mission to help people. And at this opportunity, I had to take advantage because you're talking about ACEs. So let's talk about ACEs, shall we? What's your ACEs score?
Basic score is 5.
Interesting. Do
5
you
out of
let
11.
that score define you?
No, I'm not letting it define me. Yet, when I do look at those questions, I do come to some realizations,
Hmm.
and I am seeing, you know, that it's possible for any individual to see and realize their lived experience and to be able to move through it, to love it, to acknowledge it, and to move through it. It's possible.
And that makes you a,
Cycle breaker.
thank you. You better
You're
finish the sentence because that's what that is. Look at everything that you experience and look at what you're experiencing and going through now. That's not me. I just know the words. I'm just giving you the context. I'm just giving you what you already know because, again, the book came before me, but we're going to do something about it because you're talking about ACEs. And people just need to know the essential pain and piece of life from somebody else, they're going to be interested like I was. I just got good tools to help. Because honestly, I wasn't the first person to meet you. Somebody that I helped with the same situation. She didn't know about ACEs either. So you got to think about it. Yes, it's Dr. Tori. Yeah, just a little bit. Okay, yeah. But that's my job to help people understand that they too can create victory in themselves, help themselves heal, and take next steps. And your steps have been quick in the mug. And that's really all it is. I mean, we've talked about the ACEs categories, we know what it is, but you understanding your ACEs score, has it helped you grow personally and professionally?
It's definitely helped me grow because it's helping me see in areas of my life where I have limited myself, also how I've perceived a lot of
Mhm.
different things in my life, and
Mhm.
also, you know, acknowledging that PTSD is real no matter how it comes to you. like, like that. I think that was the one thing, like, because you only really hear it when it comes to individuals that were in service.
Mhm.
Yet PTSD is even real with individuals that have not been in service because no one, I don't care where you are, has really been taught how to process traumatic experiences in a way where they're able to be able to move forward and to have productive lives, not only just for with the other individuals, but also for themselves.
Agree. Now, we talk about ACEs a lot. We do.
Yes.
I
Hmm.
love the fact that we have had discussions about it. For those who don't know, this isn't something that we're just having a conversation about. It's the second largest study in the United States. Everybody has an ACEs score. We all have it at this point, especially looking at this administration, but I keep my comments to myself, okay? But I will say this, I am interested in the journey of your cycle breaking because that's also a new term that you were introduced to.
Hmm.
And so now that you know about being a cycle breaker and you've been on this journey, how would you describe your journey?
I would say first and foremost, just to be able to have been connected with you, to know about ACEs has been something that has been like a godsend to me because it did not allow me to be afraid to be able to speak up.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Because like I said, I didn't say this, but like I'm the oldest of my mom's children, but I do have an older brother. But you never realize the psychological hit that takes place when adults make decisions,
Mhm.
and to realize how it could really affect the child in a way that like they would never experience because they don't come here expecting to be hurt or to be not accepted, not to be loved the way that they are, because that's exactly who we are when we come into this world, where we don't have these issues and these problems that individuals are experiencing, like adult individuals are experiencing. We come in ready to just love and just be, right?
Mm-hmm.
To be in the moment, to enjoy everything that's happening, to let things rub off our back and just to move forward. But yet we begin to learn how to hold on to stuff, which causes so many ailments in our body, which we don't even realize how much energy really plays a huge part in our lives, because this whole physical body is energy, and it could just go at any moment if we don't realize it, right? Because the spirit has a limit, a time limit on this earth. I mean, so how am I going to be willing to live this life? How am I going to be willing to really just be in this moment? So me being a cycle breaker, me taking this time to be able to continue to now speak from my story, to speak from who I was and who I am now, and to show individuals that it's possible for them to do the same exact thing. I think it's magnificent, because I've always wanted to be a speaker, but I just like the very first person that I've read from cover to cover was Les Brown, who was
Yeah.
a motivational speaker, and he always spoke about the fact that he was labeled educated, mentally retarded. And he always talked about how, even though that's how he was labeled when he was a kid, he always found successes in how he was able to still do things that were successful, and people were excited about him to be this person that he is, and that he went into uh, public office, and then he went from being in public office to being a motivational speaker, and now to help millions, probably billions of people change their lives. And because of his story, it was like, I can do the same thing. I felt like I could do the same thing, even though I'm raised in a family of pastors and ministers. I felt like his path was more freeing and more open,
Right.
because there was no shield over what you can do and say. And I think even like before I met you, Dr. Tori,
Mm-hmm.
I had that shield.
Right.
I put myself back in that shield, because I felt like I said earlier, the only way I can really talk to people was from the already healed, already successful. But individuals really wanted to know, well, but what happened to you for you to get to this point?
Right.
And so I believe being a cycle breaker in this moment is allowing me to show what it is to be able to make that possible, but then also to just there was a point I was trying to make.
You're fine. Listen, because you giving it. You're actually giving your story. And it's something that you got to go ahead and start getting used to doing, because all the things that you're saying that you wanted to do, you're doing. I like how you pay homage to your family members, and last but not least to Les Brown. You know what I mean? Because his story is inspiring. If he can do it, you can do it. But
Yeah,
that's cycle breaking. You know what I mean? Because I didn't know that he was labeled. I did not know that. I didn't, which makes him with
it's
an
like
ace of score.
an ace of
You see what
sport.
I'm saying? So when you look at it from that perspective, like I said, everybody has it. It's just we're not aware of it. But that's where the education comes from. That's where ACE's education and just having conversations about it can bring that awareness to people. Because you got to think about it. We just met, honestly, we met last year-ish, but we've been on fire ever since.
Yeah,
And it's like there's no way you can really share that story without sharing your ACEs score or sharing that you're a cycle breaker or your story, because your story is what got you on a platform where, yeah, it's a brag. You spoke at an international conference. You met international people. You met people that bought your book. You had your It was packed. Like, you got to think about what really happened in that moment. I'm not just gonna put everybody out there. Let's you know me now. Yeah,
Yeah.
I chose you, but that's the journey. That is where we're at now. And
Mm,
that's what people have to know. Like I told you, my framework is real. We talk about it all the time. That
yeah.
awareness and that powerful community that's still supporting you to this day is what's empowering you to be who you are today. And so let's talk about it.
Yes.
How do you empower others?
Wow. I empower others by, first of all, just letting them know and to continue to affirm into their lives
Mm,
how wonderful, spectacular, marvelous they are, how adoring and awesome that they are, regardless of what anybody else thinks or believes about them.
mhm,
It's all about how and what they could do to believe that for themselves. I've also created well, actually, God created this through me, is commodity consciousness, which is a huge part of one of the, like, I just never thought it was as would be as big as it is right now. Like, because it was just like just an idea and just a chapter in a book, but then it became this whole anomaly all on its own. But it's about commodities broken into three parts: communication, COM, modify, MOD, ITY, embody, and it's allowing individuals to see that when you communicate with your higher power, your higher self, you begin to get the ideas, dreams, goals, however you want to call those, and then you take the MOD part, you modify that very information that you receive. That means that you take the information, you find out what you could do in order to make it manifest, right? What can I go where, like for instance, let's take for instance future Dr. Benefield, right? It's like when you spoke that into my life at the conference through communication, right? Because I told you I had no plans of going back to school whatsoever,
mm.
and then all of a sudden you mentioned that, and then she likes that, and
I do.
then so I modify. So what happened was I took that communication in, and that very same day I had a call with a friend, and she told me about this institute that I could go to. I signed up. I modified everything, put everything in a place that I needed to do, whatever needed to take care of. And I immediately got my bachelor's, and then now working on my master's, because everything I did like just fell in the line. And now I'm embodying the idea, the ITY. Now we're on the ITY part, right? I'm embodying the idea and knowing that I am Dr. I'm gonna say it like this: that I am Reverend Dr. Jason
Hmm.
Ojudu-Benefield.
Very good.
So I'm now embodying the very idea that spirit has communicated through Dr. Tori into my life. All of this is taking place, and now and I'm sharing this with individuals to let them know, regardless of where you've been through, what you came from, how affected you may have been by life at some point, and thought that you were always going to be down. You can, like they say, you can fall down 7 times, but you can get right back up each time. And so
Mm,
because of now you have the opportunity to get back up, now you can know and understand how valuable and how important you are to your own life. And then other individuals will start to see that and realize that for themselves. So
hmm.
that's why commodity consciousness has been so huge and such a huge push that I've been like really working on. And I told you I finally went ahead and just got things in order so that the book could be created and like different things. Like there's just so many things. Like even these cards are part of the book itself and
Yep.
like everything. Like, okay, I just want to say this real quick,
Oh, I'm ready.
and then I'm gonna let you say something. I just want everybody to know. Do you know how powerful and spectacular you are? Do you know that there is just something within you that is just clawing at you to open your mouth or to move your body to actually do? I'm telling you this from a person that started in 2006 writing the outline of the book, and then what really is really an outline of a talk turned into a book, and then went into becoming cards, and then now it's a platform for so many people to be able to be a part of. We don't know the very divine ideas that we are not allowing to express through us because of how we have been brought up. And trust and believe me, if I always say this, I could have went down a different route,
Yep.
but I chose this one because there was something there, because somebody kept seeing something in me and I kept saying yes, and then and I said let's go, and here I am right now, 20, wow, so 20 years,
hmm
like, so 20 years,
It's been 20 years.
yeah, and
And
here I am,
yep. Look at your cycle breaking journey. Congratulations. Because it could have been different.
yeah,
You're a Black man.
yeah,
It could have been different. I'll say it again. You're a Black man. It could have been different. But just this quick, based off of community
Mhm.
and commodity, here we
Yes,
are. So,
yes,
because we've been moving fast and people don't know. And I'm not going to share too much. You've shared a lot today. You all will see us a lot. Just want y'all to know. I have several students, and you all know this. Even one of the schools, one of the colleges said, oh, and by the way, we got you another doctoral candidate. One just graduated. I'm like, yo, give me another one. Okay, fine. I don't have a problem with that because you know how I motivate and you know how I move. But it's so much more to cycle breaking. It's so much more to healing. It's so much more to awareness. You've been on this journey not for long. I've been mentoring people for years. I just got you.
yeah,
So how has your journey been? And I know you've talked about it, but it's been quick.
yeah. Yeah, my journey, especially working with you, has been really interesting because, like, I believe because I was in the state that I was in at one point in my life, it was a lot of energy that was propelling me into doing things. So there was like a lot of motivation. And then now it's like because I've been doing so much work on myself, I've been just a little bit more calm and just a little bit more focused, and then so that energy I'm used to pushing me is not as forceful as it used to be, so that I'm learning how to work through that that part
Mhm.
of me to still continue to complete projects and the work that I'm doing with you and things of that nature. So it's been so I'm so grateful because, like, there's this book I'll be writing pretty soon. I don't want to say anything as of yet, but there's another book that I'm also writing right now, and one of the things is mother figures,
Mm.
right? And
Mhm.
so even though I wanted my mom to be like Donna Reed, and if you don't know who that is, please look it up, Google
Please.
Google it, because I used to watch the show, the Donna Reed show, and that's the kind of mother that I had always wanted. Like those mothers in those earlier TV shows, they had this type of affection for their child.
Mhm.
Regardless of what that child did, they had that affection, they had that emotional connection. And if you look at our history as people of African descent, the emotional connection had been cut off so that the enslaved individuals could be controlled. So then there's some individuals that have not allowed that part of themselves to really connect with their child. And then there's experiences that women have, especially women, our black women have had so many different experiences in their lives that have also cut them off emotionally, from being able to love and to be able to experience that child mother relationship that a lot of children need in their lives, that has really allowed most, especially a lot of men, to go through life feeling unwanted, unloved, unneeded, and don't know how to really have a good core relationship like they should, or like they can. Not they should, but like they can. I say all this to say is because there's a chapter in this book that's called Mother Figure that will have a list of names, and Dr. Tori is on that list. Because it's so funny, because the first thing I was saying earlier before we started this conversation was, I said, she's not fussing today, and so, but the thing is that I thought about it after our conversation from a couple of days ago. There was something in that made me feel loved. It was like I felt cared for. And I really had to take that in. It was like, why was it that I didn't care that she was coming at me like that? But for me, that was a sign of affection that I didn't really have. There's somebody that really cared about what I was doing, but then was still there, that didn't abandon me, that didn't leave me, that said I would not leave you. And she has not done that. And so I had to really take that in.
Thank you.
And I had to really take that in and I really had to look at the other women in my life that have been that way for me. And I had to realize that even though my mom could not do that for me, that God had placed other women in my life for that to happen.
Oh, oh, oh. I'm a fuss. Everybody know I'm a fusser. I am. I'm a mother. Yes. I was an auntie first. So I'm an auntie fusser too. Let's be clear. I'm a mama. I've been the mama. I'm the school mama. I'm the everybody's mama. That's just what it is. But I don't want people to go through what I went through. And I think that's what it is for me. That's what cycle breaking looks like to me. First generation, everything.
Yeah.
High school. Don't tell me you can't go and get your I can help. Bachelor's, master's, two, and a doctorate. Not because I was doing it for somebody else. I was really doing it for myself.
Yeah.
So when you think about it that way, yeah, I've invested because I know that you have wonderful potential. You are amazing. You are a cycle breaker. Everything that I've thrown at you, you've accepted, caught it. And look at how your life has changed tremendously. And so when God places people in your life, especially in a powerful community that helps people grow, this is what it looks like. I don't hide my love for Lisa. Everybody know I love Lisa, period. That is my ABCDEFG. Let's be
Yeah.
clear.
Yeah.
But she also took that same chance. I didn't know her either.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at it from that perspective, she don't have her love. She'd be like, well, what Dr. Tori want, what she need. So it's not, you're not alone in the journey. And it's not just for a particular person because her journey is different than yours.
Mm-hmm.
But what makes us who we are is we're cycle breakers. We've been through some experiences people wouldn't even believe. I'm still going through stuff. You know that.
Yeah.
But I'm not letting it stop me do anything. What makes you weak really makes you stronger because
Mm-hmm.
it's those experiences. I don't want people to go through what I'm going through at all. To this day, I still don't want people to go through what I'm going through. But if I can go and get this degree, so can you.
Yeah.
And that's why we are here. So I'm going to ask you this question
Okay.
because you have been on a healing journey for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
If you could say one thing to somebody going through a healing journey, what would you say?
Stay the course.
Mm,
Allow the pain to just really get to you. That's another chapter in my book. Like, fear is good.
hmm.
Fear is good. Pain is wonderful
It is.
because it really lets you see what it is that you're holding on to that you really need to let go of.
Hmm.
Because that's a lot of individuals that are in specific addictions is because they are trying to addict away the pain
Hmm.
instead of really facing it. So they don't want to see it. They just want to be in a state of euphoria all the time. And yes, euphoria definitely is good. Don't get me wrong. And, ooh, you know what? That also, I just had like a thought. I'm wondering, that's why I like that show so much. If anybody ever sees it on HBO, the Zendaya show Euphoria, that
Hmm.
makes sense, right? If you really look at it, it makes sense. So take it all in. Do not allow something else to blind you from what it is that you really need to focus on and heal.
Right.
Be present, be available, take it in, cry, yell, scream, fuss, cuss, do whatever it is that you need to take to allow that energy to transmute itself into something more productive and more powerful for your life. So then that way you can be free because that's what you're really addicting yourself for is freedom. So if you
Right.
really want freedom, you have to acknowledge and you have to face that pain, that frustration, that fear. It has to be faced. There's just no way around it.
And I agree. This is what I will share. This author, amazing, by the way. At the end of his book, he has a wrap up. It says, I want to encourage you to get excited about whatever you put your mind to. Get even more excited for the endless possibilities that await you once you realize what is available for you to co create. So I think about this wrap up and I think about this young man that I have been mentoring into pursuing to get his degree. Living in your productiveness is contagious, and the people around you will want the same for themselves. They will begin to speak about the ideas they have and will find ways to attain the knowledge to create them. So, you actually talk about you in this book, in your wrap up, and you don't even know it. I'll wait just so I can do this educational moment with you. So, with that being said, I want you guys to know it's been a pleasure having Mr. Benefield. Wait a minute. Dr. Benefield.
It's been a pleasure to be here. I thank you for allowing me to continue to be in front of your people, to be able to express the joy and also the moments that are not so joyful, but that they are all good no matter what it is.